What's up, guys? So I've got my little one here, keeping me company as usual. And what we have here is the MOLLE 2 ruck after it's been dyed with Rit Dye camel. Now I just finished setting this up. Took me a while. A lot of pouches and a lot of stuff to go through, but look at the color indoors. It looks a lot more kind of coyote-like, tan-like, like a dark shade of tan. Almost coyote, like somewhere between a tan and a coyote brown. Um, and the grays are somewhere between a slightly grayish, but it's more of a mossy greenish grayish. So that's really nice. The snow color, a nice olive drab, as you can see. This pouch, some pouches, for example, like this one, you can see it looks a little bit more green for some reason compared to, the tans and the mossier green, which still looks fairly gray on camera. Also, this looks pretty gray. But, oh, here we go. For some reason, see, this looks green on camera. I have no idea why this shows up as gray. But here it is, guys. Here's the beast. And I've just about started, accessorizing it. This is the IFAC by Blackhawk. These are utility pouches by Cordura brand pouches. And I mentioned in the previous video how I dyed this initially with apple green, hence the webbing turned a nice kind of like rangerish green color. But then I dabbed it in the coyote brown mixture just to give it a bit more, of a uniform feel throughout. And I have to say, all the pouches are pretty cool. But this pouch, however, which I found at a later date, the same pouch. What are you up to down there? My cat's doing some stuff. Anyway, the webbing turned brown, as you can see. So I was thinking maybe, switch it up, and then dab it quickly, dip it quickly in apple green Rit Dye apple green bath, and then maybe see if I can turn the webbing to an olive drab, because I'm not a real fan of brown. Although it could be beneficial, like to have one with Ranger green webbing and one with brown webbing, simply because if I decide to compartmentalize my gear, this might be one of those visual cues where I've got X in here and I've got Y in there. Still trying to figure out what to do with them. In one, as of right now, I just have a pack cover. Just to puff out the pouches. But going down, we've got the waist pack. See if I can do this quickly. There we go. I've got the waist pack, which is perfectly centered, and I really like it, below these three utility pouches. So yeah, that covers this area. I'm not too bothered by the fact that it's covering the zipper, simply because I never really use that zipper. I find it a lot easier to put things in and out and pull them out from the top. So that's that works for me. Has absolutely no benefit. So I'm just staying with that. On the sides, obviously, we've got the sustainment pouches. And oh, by the way, guys, I forgot to mention this pack. As I was assembling it, I didn't realize, but it was missing quite a few buckles. One of the sustainment pouches had a broken buckle, and fortunately, I had one in foliage as well. I had three, in fact, in foliage that I was able to use. So I took the male end, fixed that. But then what I realized about this pack that I didn't realize until I built it just now, unfortunately, I should have probably told the seller right away, and I would have at least gotten maybe a little discount on it, was the fact that unlike my other MOLLE 2 rucks, which have a couple of straps coming across, and they're secured in, with the ladder locks, which are not removable. These have been, you know, they're fixed in place. The good thing about this pack is that first of all, I had three compression straps, three side compression straps, which I was like, whoa, okay, an extra compression strap. I don't know if I really need it, but whatever. But the problem is, as you can see, these are the removable. Um, these are the removable kind of like repair buckle type of buckles. As you can see if I can just remove that quickly. Well, you can see it. It's one of those. So I basically fiddled around. I had to rearrange them a little bit and add, as you can see, some tan, some coyote buckles, whatever I had, that was compatible with, you know, with these standard buckles. So yeah, I just had to basically do that, and it was a bit of a shame as well. One of the quick release tabs as well, the little button came off once I flicked this open. See if I can do this again. No, can't do this with one hand. Sorry guys, let me pause it. So yeah, once I undid the quick release, this little button came off, one of them. So I thought, oh, shame, you know. So the pack wasn't in as good condition as I thought. Um, and I definitely should have told the seller about it. I still probably will. I'll contact him anyway and be like, yo, dude, seriously though, if I at least keep in mind that if I ever purchase from you again, I want a discount. Let's put it like that. But yeah, I can still fix that. I swapped these out temporarily from a different pack, so I figured whatever, I'm gonna use the better ones, the best ones that I have. But I can still super glue this thing back into place, and hopefully it should be all right. Hopefully, but yeah, as you can see, guys, I've got another vertical pouch here by HSGI, and a saw pouch by Blackhawk here. On the other hand, and there's still room here, guys. So I'm just about to purchase another pouch, which on the other side, as you can see, I managed to squeeze in this extra other pouch. So I've got another Blackhawk saw pouch there, another vertical utility pouch by HSGI, which hooks here, onto these last. There we go, just to show you where exactly it is on the ruck. These odd spots, so to speak, which is, nice because it makes use of that. And then, yeah, I was able to squeeze in this other pouch. So I figured, perfect. I need to find one for the other side, and then I'll be set. And the tan pouches look really good on this ruck, because as you can see, this is a dark shade of tan. So I figured it would look the best. And on top of that, I figured, seeing as I'm pairing it up with a lot of tan pouches, might as well go the tan frame, and especially because compared to my other rucks, now the tan frame initially was on. Let's see if I can do this the other way around. There we go. The tan frame was initially onto the apple green, standard apple green one that I dyed, and that's the Ranger green one after the initial failed attempt with the Dharma acid dyes, which darkened the whole pack. Still did that with simply apple green, but it turned into a nice dark Ranger green. But as you can see, this is the camel, and indoors it looks a lot more like, let me put the Philby ruck next to it, or semi next to it. Let me just do this for the sake of comparing. There we have coyote browns, and there we have tans, slight tinge of browns, slight tinge of greens though as well. Do you know what I mean? Um, Again, it doesn't indoors as well. For some reason, that looks a lot like bright yellow, but it's more of a tan, like a light tan, whereas other shades is more of a darker tan. And but it looks pretty good. I have to say I'm pretty happy with the results. It's not exactly what I was expecting, but I'm really happy with it nonetheless. So I figured, yeah, run with it. Don't mess with it, because I was contemplating, what do I do? Do I just quickly dip it in apple green? Because here the webbing, it's really weird, guys. Because earlier on, I could have sworn this was coyote brown, and now I'm looking at it and under a different light, and it's definitely more like a ranger green. On camera, this shows like coyote brown. So weird. Trying to. Okay, there we go. This looks like fully on. This is actually coyote brown. This turned the side straps for some reason into coyote brown. The utility pouch are really dark chocolate brown. The main straps turned into a nice green, which on camera doesn't really show, but maybe you can see the contrast there better. See that? That looks a little greener, at least compared to this coyote brown. So what can I say, guys? This is really weird because, depending on the lighting, I guess it almost changes colors. I guess this is kind of cool, though. I mean, this is like a camo, a feature of the camo, that I suppose could be quite versatile, because it never really looks like one, you know, one solid color or anything like that at any given time. It kind of morphs, to be honest, depending on the lighting. But yeah, I can assure you that this is more of a coyote brown or a dark tan, and this is a mossy green. It does look kind of mossy greenish on camera, and this is true as well to what I'm looking at right now. So what can I say? Whereas this on camera, for example, just looks like pale yellow, and it is a pale kind of tan, but it's not as bright as it is on camera for whatever reason. But as you can see, guys, at least comparing, you know, apple green, after Dharma acid dyes, and camel, and I'm pretty happy with this results. I was expecting it to be a bit more versatile. Like, where's those damn pouches? These are the pouches that I initially dyed with camel, and as you can see, that looks a lot greener than what I have for this whole ruck. Definitely a lot greener. So I was aiming for something like that was still a tad bit, greener overall. But even though it turned out more of a like desert friendly camouflage, I would say. Still versatile in the woods. Don't get me wrong; it's still a hell of a lot better than standard UCP. But I was aiming, like I said, for a slight, maybe more of a slightly more, tinge of green. But I don't think I don't think I'm gonna dip this in apple green, because I'm fairly happy with the end result. Plus, like I said, I've got the tan pouches, I've got the tan frame. I figured this is a more, you know, dark tans, and it works. It still works really well. I think, at least, I'm still pretty happy with the end result, I have to say. Not like I said, not something that I was expecting, but I knew camel was risky, because it always yields uneven results, and even within the same pack, it yielded uneven results, which, pardon me, is still a good thing in a way. I mean, it keeps it interesting. In a way, the camo pattern doesn't really look like one solid color at any given time, like one big blotch of whatever. So, slight changes, like for example, this pouch looks darker than the rest of this pack, um, at least on here. But I can assure you, just because it has a tad bit more grays, um, which again on camera still look like gray, but I can assure you it's more of a grayish, mossy green, if anything. But the tans still match, and overall it's still nice. One thing that I'm not a fan of, and I knew about this when I purchased it, but I figured whatever, I'm just gonna have to deal with it because I want to use a UCP brain, a removable one at that, if possible. So what I'm gonna do probably, as you can see, this is literally one Pal's webbing shy of, or two at least rows shy of making this work perfectly. Like, had this strap and the button come all the way down, I don't even know why they did this, to be honest. Why didn't they just extend it all the way down here? I hate it when they just stop halfway through. Like, dude, seriously. But yeah, what I might have to do is feed a malice clip here, which will allow me, on this second row of Pal's webbing, which would then allow me to clip it on here and prevent it, from flopping out. Because let me see, like when I'm undoing this pack, I don't want things flopping over the place, all over the place. It doesn't really flop too much, but still, it would just add that little extra bit of, stability, I guess. But so far, guys, I guess it's getting it's becoming a pretty long video. I just wanted to show you guys the end result and how it looks compared to the other. Take this out the way. Compared to the other. Well, actually, let me keep that so you can see the contrast. So this was the initial camel, second dye job with camel, apple green after the Dharma acid dyes, and just a standard coyote brown Philby. And yeah, looking at all this mess, I figured I'd use the UCP pouches that I found for this design because I figured I like apple green, but it's still a little bit too light a green. I like the Ranger green / olive drabish, but at that point, I don't really feel the need to dye pouches. It's a pretty dark color, so I figured, I can just source some OD pouches or Ranger green pouches, so it's fine. So I figured, these pouches initially were meant for that pack, for a lighter camouflage, because I want, as you can see, the camouflage to kind of give that disruptive pattern feel. I want the contrast between the lighter and the darker shades of the pixelated camouflage. So I figured eventually this would be a good candidate, with the camel, because it's still, as you can see, it still makes use of the UCP camouflage, for the most part, except for those horizontal lines, those brown lines. Oh my god. But see, a bit more muted when they're green like that. So I'm hoping if I dip this in apple green that turns into Ranger green or olive drab of sorts. But yeah, so far, guys, here's the end result, and I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. Let me show you the suspension system out. As you can see, even on camera, just compared to the ruck, turned far more greener, everywhere. Look at that. Tans, but then the mossy greens. This is far greener. The shoulder pads, the shoulder yoke, far greener than this tans up here, as you can see. So again, guys, camo yields some unpredictable results. So it's a risky one,
but it still yields some pretty good results nonetheless. So I'm happy with it. So without any further ramblings, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, guys, the um, UCP also MOLLE 2 canteen carriers, one per side, looking good. Just everything pretty much looks really good on this pack now. I'm really happy with it, especially with the add-ons, with the tan add-on pouches. This is more of a darker tan, very dark tan, almost coyote brown. This is, a lighter shade of tan. But let's put this back here. Sorry, guys. There we go. So what can I say? Put that there so you can get a nice quick shot of all the rucks, that I've been working on lately. So I figured, dedicate my efforts into the design of this pack, with the pouches. I don't necessarily have to accessorize each pack with pouches, especially because I think at least at this point, at least one of them is going up for sale, and I'll definitely keep this one. I really like the Ranger Green one just because that shade of Ranger Green turned out beautiful. I might sell off the apple green, the standard apple green. Who knows? I don't know. Uh, Probably though, at some point it will probably be on the chopping block before any of these two ever will be. And then there's always the other MOLLE 2 ruck that I bought that I was supposed to basically. It was I bought it because it was supposed to be this project, but then I found a better deal with with a pack with a snow collar included. So I figured I'd just go with that, spend a bit more money, and then just accessorize the one pack. But what can I say, guys? Enough of me rambling. I hope you enjoyed this quick episode, or quick 20 plus minute episode on showing you what the different results of the Rit Dye experiments have been over the years. And as I mentioned in the previous video, it's a learning curve. I learn something new each and every time. So what can I say? I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As per usual, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.